Okay, so it seems like recently there's been some massive news regarding Ironmouse. Now, this one has been absolutely blowing up all over Twitter lately because, again, this is some pretty big news, right? And essentially, recently it was revealed that Ironmouse would be, has been added to Fortnite as a sprite. Now, obviously, these sprite things were a new thing, but yeah, you can see it has her full model there. They say the companion regenerates health over time and grants low gravity while healing. So, again, lots of people were super surprised by this because this is a pretty big achievement, right? Ironmouse, I feel like, is one of the first indie, English-speaking VTubers to be added to the game, which I think is pretty cool. And of course, we've had a couple of VTubers added. Obviously, we've got whcih and, as well as whcih was also added. But again, obviously, it's kind of like to be expected, of course, like with whcih and Hololive and all of that kind of stuff. Hololive have a lot of pull, but it's kind of cool to see that they're even getting involved with a lot of the indie VTuber scene, with, Ironmouse being added, and it makes you think who else could be added in the future too, right? But again, it might not even just be this though, right? Obviously, a sprite's cool and everything, but apparently as well, a lot of the kind of like popular accounts have been saying that there could likely be skins as well. Now, we don't know what these look like, but apparently this is supposed to be out today, because this was uploaded last night. So again, it should be anytime soon, right? That these will be added to the game. And tons of people have been commenting on this, including Camilla here saying, I've never been more happy. I mean, literally everybody from the VTubing kind of, space has been commenting and talking about this because it's big news, right? It is big news, especially for VTubers in general, because it shows that, Fortnite and these kind of big games are looking to work with VTubers. We had, for example, Dokibird working with Apex Legends before, right? But I feel like Fortnite is even bigger as well because, it's Fortnite, right? It was one of the biggest games and potentially still is one of the biggest games out there at the moment, especially in terms of, free-to-play battle royales, right? Obviously, Alara, per Ironmouse GIF. So this might actually get me to reinstall Fortnite after so many years. And yeah, tons of people are hyped over it, right? You got to think about all of the kind of hardships that obviously she's faced over the past couple of years or so, especially with a lot of the hate and stuff that she's been getting. I mean, we covered most recently the hate that she got over on the Apple Music stuff, but it's this kind of stuff that will further kind of, I guess, trigger the haters to the point where they can't really do anything about it, right? She is like so big and she's doing all of these really big things that, that they can't just like do anything, right? Like they feel kind of like hopeless in terms of trying to attack her and things, which I think is cool, right? I think because of course you're kind of like silencing them with the fact that you're just so big now, right? Now, of course, a lot of people saying now that's how you do a VTuber sprite, saying real talk, but it's refreshing to see Mousy do big things independently. That a big V brand behind her, having an entire booth at AX, the Club Ironmouse concert, the Wildcard Club project, now Fortnite all back to back. Absolutely unreal. Shout out to Mousy's team the past year. And yeah, it has been pretty insane. Obviously, she had that whole big booth at Anime Expo, Club Ironmouse concert, and of course, most recently, the Wildcard Club project, which we talked about, which is also another huge project, right? In kind of collaboration with Hype, the big K-pop, group, what do you call it, agency or whatever you want to call it, right? They essentially are backing a project with her, Dokibird, Rin Penrose, and Lee to essentially create this cool little project where they're going to get other VTubers on board to make songs and things like that, which again is absolutely insane. And now we've gotten Fortnite like a couple days later. It's insane, right? You have Fizznom as well. Obviously, we talked about them quite a bit with the whole Mint situation, saying time to get into Fortnite again. Saying I've already seen people saying this is worse than the Chub Peanut. How? Say, lie to me. Why do people hate her? And of course, of course, there's always going to be a little bit of hate and stuff that goes away. I haven't really seen much so far. A lot of people saying only thing I recall is how she reacted to Ray and Rakai back then. She wasn't there physically on screen. I guess they were excited to see her, but she said she was shaking and uncomfy. I remember people calling her weird and racist. That's all I can think of. Which again, that was such like a nothing thing. Like it was really something that was understandable from her perspective. But yeah, of course, there is probably going to be some hate, right? There's probably going to be some people that are going to be going after her over this because again, of course, you know, now she's in their favorite game, which is, as I said, going to trigger the haters even further. Apparently, if you search a Ironmouse, it shows regard. That's funny. Saying if they add a cry for me email, I'm going to lose my shit, which again, that would be pretty crazy. Saying creations of the 0 point. Well, the 0 point has a very unique interest. We say what? Mouse shadow drop, hoping she actually gets a skin and not the burnt peanut treatment, which again, I don't know. I don't know if you know, that would be the case or not. Again, people are reporting that there will likely be skins. Someone even said apparently there will be 2 skins. Right, Ironmouse will likely get 2 skins. And these are from accounts that are, you know, extremely popular. But we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. And people think it could be for Ironmouse though, and it would be really cool if she did get one. So, but they can't add Addo for sure. Then we love Mousy. So they prefer her than the burnt peanut, but does she play Fortnite? Which again, it's not all about if you play Fortnite, right? I feel like there's so many people that don't play Fortnite that run it in the game, but they're just cool little, you know, kind of skins and like little collab things, which I think people just enjoy getting, right? Because they enjoy the person, they're a fan of the person, whether it's Ironmouse or whether it's anybody else that has been added to Fortnite, right? You think, you know, so many musicians and stuff that have probably been added. As well as many like celebrities and things that have been added, which again, at the end of the day, they probably don't play Fortnite, but lots of people like getting their skins because they like the character, they like the person, so they'll get it, right? Who's had no idea who she is, but her avatar looks cool. Saying I even like VTubers, but this would have been made for a better edit style, the Guardian, than the ugly as peanut thing. Obviously, yeah, if you don't know, the burnt peanut also got one. You know, a couple, was it a month or so ago? You got a lot of backlash for that one as well. But yeah, obviously a lot of people apparently didn't like it. It didn't really look that great, to be honest. I think they probably could have done a better job of it. But yeah, I don't know. Saying an Ironmouse skin would be 5 for sure. Which, yeah, I mean, that would be cool. I don't play Fortnite, but this makes me want to. Said I really hope it's more than a sprite. I need to have a skin. Said please don't be clickbait, please, I need it. So yeah, obviously tons of people have been saying like, hey, you know, I need this skin, I want to get it, and it seems like it has been a huge success already. I mean, this got millions of views. This poster is also picking up from Dexerto. It's just come out with the actual reveal of it. I'm assuming it's come out officially if Dexerto are posting about it, because I know these are like leak accounts or whatever you want to call it, like news accounts that like drop things early. But Dexerto, of course, are an official source, so I feel like they have just the information right. So finally, a legit excuse to jump off a building and not die. Thanks, Ironmouse. Now I can float and heal like a glitchy cat. Say real life Ironmouse can barely survive a call. Fortnite Ironmouse can survive the full damage. The universe has jokes. I mean, again, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, right? Like, yes, you know, oh, she can't go around conventions and things like that, right? But she could go in Fortnite. Like, yeah, she's in a game, right? Like, that's how games work. You can do things that maybe you can't usually do, right? You know, you think that literally anybody else within Fortnite, right? Who's in Fortnite? I think like Travis Scott, he's in Fortnite, right? You know, do you think he can, you know, do like, what do you call it? Do 90s? You know, do you think he can build a massive fort, like, using just a small blueprint, right? No, of course not, right? Because Fortnite isn't real, bro. Like, I think it's so funny. I guess so many people, you know, again, it's probably going to cause a bit of hate and whatever, saying I want you to cry for me. So yeah, I think people talk about the song and stuff. She performed well there, I believe. So yeah, obviously a lot of people have been, yeah, interested, right? But yeah, that's essentially all the rates are for the news. I was pretty surprised about this. So again, it is pretty exciting. We'll have to see if there is any skins or anything that comes out with it as well, because that would be even more exciting. But yeah, it seems like Ironmouse will be collaborating with Fortnite, already has collaborated with Fortnite. And people are super excited to see it added to the game. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens, right? But yeah, that's essentially log off this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Keza, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.